Okay, to recap our previous discussion, to recap to the yesterday's discussion, what we are discussing about the TMS. So that is called the SAP TMS, Transport Management System. So as part of this TMS configuration, we have discussed about the DC creation, domain controller creation, then how to add the systems into DC, transport domain controller. DC means domain controller, how to add the systems. So these two topics yesterday we discussed. This we have to perform from 000 client, any one of the user, then STMS is the transaction code to perform all these activities in the SAP systems. STMS is a transaction code to perform all these activities, right? So 000 DDIC STMS is the transaction code. So from here, when you are doing the configuration, we already know in the back end. So in the back end, so one user will be creating in the 000, that is called the TMS ADM user backend without 1 and 2 RFC destinations, TMS ADM and TMS SUP RFC destinations, right? 2 RFC destinations, one job RDD, a MPDP job. So this job also getting created. So if you see any one of the system, so let me log in here. So 000 client. So any one of the user. Okay, this is locked. Okay, so maybe, so if you go to the SM37, so then you can see RDD IMPDP job here. So that job is released status. Released status means just you can remove this one, maybe you can put released. So here you won't see here. Why? Because it's released in the future date. So you can just remove the dates, just check you have the job is released status. Why? Because the job, there is no time set here. So you won't get if you set the from date to date. Why? Because this is the event periodic. Event periodic means whenever the transport import happens, the time you will get this option. This job will be triggered automatically by system, event periodic. So and whenever the event occurs, this job will be imported. Okay, that time you can see this one. Okay, so let's validate the configuration. I think you guys are not configured the configuration. See here, when I use STMS, it is asking to configure the domain controller. Okay, I am configuring. So user is getting created. You can put any password, TMS ADM. So it's not like that you need to give standard, but if you maintain the standard one, that is very simple. Here I think company name also it is asking. So maybe you can put here anything. Yeah, you are logged into the domain controller. Something you created the domain control configuration. Now I'm going to add NWD into so ECP domain controller. Go to the STMS. So I think it's already there. I think in ECP. Then in this case, go to the ECP system. Just select this button. Maybe check the systems here. Okay, only one system is there here. Okay, one system is there. This is not added here. So maybe we can reconfigure. In NWD, we can reconfigure, delete. Okay, just I'm giving the reconfiguration. So user password I'm setting because this user is getting created here. So here we are setting the new password here. So system is waiting to be included in the transport domain. So our ECP is our transport domain. If you refresh it, NWD is the here. You can see the status here, waiting to be included. In this case, go to the SAP system, click on the approve button, so that will be added. So here it is coming to the status. So now we created the systems and we added into the domain controller. That is what we discussed yesterday as well, right? So now after that, what we have? After that, what we have? So after that, today, after that, the next topic is for the transport routes and transport layers. Okay, transport loads, transport layers, and transport group. Okay, so what is this topic? Transport routes. Okay, you created the systems, the transport domain controller you added. Now routes we have to define it. Transport routes we have to define it. So here we have two types of routes are available. Okay, two types of routes we have. So one is the consolidation route. So one is the consolidation route. Is one of the so FAQ, frequently asked question during the interview. So second one is the delivery route. Delivery route. One is the consolidation route. The second one is the delivery route. Consolidation and delivery route we have. So two types of routes, and so again two types of layers. SAP layer, then ZSID layer. ZSID layer. ZSID layer. So we have two types of layers. So what is meant by transport group? So all the systems which we are adding into the domain controller, all these systems will use the common trans directory at OS level. USRSAP trans. This is the transport group. All systems will use the common trans directory. The trans directory. So this is the trans directory, which means transport directory. So we already know about this one. During the client copies, few files are creating it, co-files and data files. So those are the, what is this folder name is called the trans. As I told you, right? During the transport administration, you will get the more details about this file system structure. In the trans directory, you will see the bin. So buffer, co-files. So data, bin, buffer, co-files, data. So SAP names, temp, log. Okay, temp, log, then 8 EPS. So these are the most important folders, and this is the common trans directory. Common trans directory. Most important file systems and the common transport. So directory, common transport. So directory, right? Group or directory. We will use the common trans directory. Okay. All systems will use the common transport directory. Will use this one. Why? Because whatever the systems you are adding in the landscape, all will use the common trans directory. Suppose in your landscape you have development, so quality and production systems. You have three systems you have, right? So you have development. This is the development. This is the quality. This is the quality assurance. So this is the ERD, production systems. So normally you define the RFC destinations connectivity. This you call it as the transport domain controller main branch. You added all the sub branches into the main branch. Now you need to define the routes. So two types of routes. One is the consolidation route. So what is mean by consolidation route means the route between development and quality. Development and quality. The route between development and quality is called the consolidation route. Delivery route means finally we are giving the delivery to the production system, right? Production is our last delivery system, right? We are giving the delivery system. So the route between this is called the delivery route. This is called the consolidation route. So if anyone asks question, what is mean by consolidation route means the route between development and quality is called the delivery consolidation route, right? The route between quality and production is called the delivery route. So suppose if I take the outside of the example here, okay, so outside of the example, so this is the Hyderabad, okay, this is the Vijayawada, outside of the example, just to understand the concept, okay, HYD and Vizag, sorry, Vijayawada, okay, Vijayawada. So in between we have suppose like Kodad, okay, we have the Kodad. So in center is the Kodad. So the route between Hyderabad to Kodada is called the consolidation route, okay. The route between Kodada to Vijayawada is called the delivery route. Finally, you are giving the delivery to where you are starting here. In between, you have many cities, but in that Kodada is the one of the city. So here you are transferring the in middle. Then from here, the testing, everything will happen. Then you are sending to the data to the production. Finally, giving the delivery to the here. This is called the delivery route, consolidation route, and delivery route. So layer. What about the layers means? Okay. Now you got it right. What do you mean by routes? Okay. Anyone? Any confusion here? Anyone having? It's clear. Transport route. Okay.
Sir, if landscape is having like
Four systems or five.
like, yeah.
4 systems or 5 systems. So, but delivery route is the only one. Multiple consolidations we can take it. Finally, you are delivering to the only one production system, but you have one more landscape. So that is also coming to the delivery route to the production only. Multiple landscape. So multiple landscape. So multiple. So but delivery multiple times we can use the delivery to the. So only one production. If you have n number of systems in the landscape, but the production is only one. The route which is connecting to the production, that is called the delivery route. So it means
then we can say there is route between non-production systems can be consolidation. Route between non-production to production will be delivery route.
Yes, right. Yeah, in that case also simple landscape. So development and quality and production. Yeah, the route between development and quality consolidation. The route between quality to production is called the delivery route. The route which is attaching to the delivery, that is called the delivery route. Okay. So here, so what about the layer means? Layers. Layer means lanes. In our word, in our language, lanes. So when you're traveling in a national highway, you will see the lanes, right? Lanes. So when you are traveling from any national highway, you will see the lanes. So 3 lanes. 3 lanes you will see in the national highway. Suppose so center line, left side and right side, right? You will see the 3 lanes. What does it mean by 3 lanes? Why they created? Small vehicles, 2-wheelers, bikers, so they can go on left side, right? And the middle layer, middle lane is called the maybe learners and unconformed, something like learners. There is traffic rules, right? You will see. And right side, the fastest who are going very fast, so they will cross the middle layer and they will go. And like that, we have when we go to the road transport, just to relate this topic to the our road transport, so that you can easily understand the routes and the layers. So layers means lanes. Just in our words, it's a lanes. So when you're traveling from any national highway, you will see the 3 lanes. 3 lanes or 4 lanes sometimes, like 3 lanes, sometimes 2 lanes, 3 lanes. So in our case, so we have the 2 lanes. Okay, suppose sometimes minimum is the 2 lanes. When you're going to the here, so all small vehicles and slow vehicles and heavy vehicles, they will go in the 1 lane. Speedy vehicles, they will go to the 1 lane. So here also you have the 2 lanes in SAP also. In when one route, you have the 2 layers actually. Each layer So what is mean by SAP layer means SAP related standard objects will move through this layer. SAP related standard objects as part of the support pack administrations, as part of the some like spam and saint or SAP plugins update, some standard objects will be created, note implementation. Those objects will move through this lane. ZSAD layer means custom objects, which means our developers they will create the some objects, data, custom objects and everything, right? So that's why they called as the Z means custom in SAP. In SAP language, Z means custom. So custom objects will move through this layer, SAP standard objects. So finally, why we are creating the transport management system means to move the objects from development to quality, then quality to production. Finally, we are giving to the production delivery, right? So then moving the objects, which objects? In the objects also we have the type, right? So SAP standard objects, custom objects. So many things are there. But in that, custom objects will go through this layer. Standard objects will go through this layer. So that is the main aim of the transport layers. So transport routes are the two types. Sir, where can I go ahead and create this one? So you need to go to the once you add the systems to here, then you need to go to the STMS is the transaction code. Go to the STMS is the transaction code. Just to go to the routes, transport routes. Maybe you can see here. Here also you can see the transport route in the overview. Just to go to the transport routes, then you will see the systems here. So let me here we have the old scrap is there. Let me delete everything here. So when you go to the routes, you will see like this. When the first time you are configuring, you will see the like this page, routes configuration, routes and layers configuration. Just click on the change button. Just you need to click on the change button. Go to the configuration, standard configuration. So we have two systems only, development and quality. We have only two systems. Suppose you have the three systems we can define it. Four systems we can define it. But we have the single two systems. We have the two systems here. Development system is the NWD system. Our production system is the ECP system. Like that, you are defining the routes here, right? So you are informing to the system. In the paper, you put like, okay, ECD is our development system. Our production system is the ECP. This is the NWD. So like that, you put the paper, but you should inform to the system, right? So that we inform it to the system, then go to the configuration, standard configuration, then we adjusted this one. When you click on this button, you will see the two routes here. See here, this is the NWD system. This is the ECP system in the graphical editor. This is NWD system and ECP system. So NWD, the people will develop the development objects and everything with the standard objects. So how it will go to the ECP means through this lane, through this layer, it will go to the ECP system. What is the custom objects? It will go via this layer to here. But finally, all objects will go to the ECP system only. But the way of going is different here. So here directly you are showing this one. Where is your nose means directly you are showing this nose. But where is your nose means some people they will show, they will turn your hand, turn their hand and they will show this is the your mouse, something like that, right? In Telugu there is a one word, right? Same as like here also. So SAP standard objects will go through this layer and customization objects will go through this lane to this system. So these are the systems. So how I got these systems means here. So we have created the configuration. Configuration we have created. We added the systems. Then we have defined the routes here. We have defined the routes here like this. So we have the two systems in the landscape. We configured it. So these are the routes and layer configuration. So layers also will come when you are defining the routes and the system configuration. Layers will come, routes also will come automatically, right? If you have the three systems, the lanes also will come. So this is the one. So if I have the one more system, how can I do that one? Suppose you have created the one system. Suppose example here, I will create the one system here, just like virtual system. So here, if you don't have multiple systems, we can create here. Here also we can go ahead and create the multiple virtual systems. We can create it. Virtual system means I can create VAR, some SID I have given, just like virtual. Yeah. So one more system I have created. So then in this case, what I can do, I can go to the, I have added one more system here, but my system came to the here. Then I will go to the here. Then I will. So I have taken into the here. Now I want to configure this as my production. Then in this case, what I can do, I can directly go ahead and standard configuration three systems now. So development is the NWD and quality is the ECP. My production is the VIR, something like that I configured here, right? Configured. Now see, this is added here. My production system is the added. The route which is attaching to the production, that is the delivery route here. See here, it is attaching here. See here. So if I go here, you can see here. So NWD, ECP, and finally we are giving the delivery to the VIR system, virtual system. So like that I have created the configuration I have created. Like that I have created the configuration. Now I don't want to give this one. I want to remove this system. Select this one. There is an option delete. Just you can delete the lane. Then system is now single now. Now system is single now. So now I want two development systems. In this case, what you can do, just to and save the changes. Yes. Okay. So now see, only two are there. Virtual system is not there. What you can do now, go change. So whatever, how many ways you want to configure, so you can configure the systems here. Just drag. Just I want to give the link. Add route. I want to add the route to the production here. So what is the layer you want to create it here? Suppose like, so Z ECP layer I created. So just one for sure, I created the one layer here. Something. So routes configuration. See here, I created the one more route. So the development which you are doing, this is also will go to the ECP, and the NWD you are creating, this is also going to the ECP. This is a one production system. This is our one production system. If you just save it, you just like depends upon the experience, you will get these options actually. Save it, go to the system. Now you see here two systems, two separate systems. NWD is the two, VAR separate. Here also you can develop the objects, then you can move to the ECP system. Then here also you can develop, you can move the customization changes to the ECP system. So finally, you are giving the delivery to the ECP. So multiple systems, but finally you are giving to the delivery to the here. So like that, we can do the, wherever you want to create the routes, you can create it. So no one will stop you. But only thing is, something you need to understand the concept here. Something you need to understand the concept here. That's why. So you need. That's why you need to create and configure the things here. Create the and configure the routes and layers. You have to configure it. So if you understand that routes and layers concept, now you will get the, so how to create the layers and routes and everything you can understand, right? See here, transport layer is going to the ECP. Finally, we are giving the delivery to the here. So like that, we can create the multiple systems and multiple things we can create it, right? So this is the, here, this is the editor actually. Here, if you want to add or delete the range, routes, normally in the diagram, we will add everything, right? Same as like here, we can configure it here. Just I'm giving the description like training landscape, something like that. So training landscape. So this is the way we can create the groups and layers we can create this system. This is the way. Okay, so now you created the groups and layers. So when you are doing this configuration, always whatever the systems are there in the transport domain, all systems will use the common trans directory. Common trans directory like bin means, so all the configuration, domain controller configuration, adding the system, whatever the systems are there, all the configuration will come into the this bin folder. Bin folder. Then bin is the profile directory of the transport. Profile directory of the transport landscape. Buffer means the imported transport request comes into this picture. So co-files. So now I will explain. So now you have done the configuration, transport routes, layers, groups configuration, everything done. So now the next part is here, TR creation, TR creation, transport request creation. So this is purely developers or functional people, they will do this TR creation, transport request creation, right? They will do the purely, they will do the this TR creation, right? So only import is normally configuration also we will get chance to work on it, but enter the point of time they may ask you questions like how to create the domain controller, how to add the systems, how many transport routes, layers we have, what is the difference between the consolidation route and a delivery route. So can I create the multiple delivery routes? Can I create the multiple consolidation route? So where can I do the route configuration? Go to the transport routes and graphical editor. There you can define the transport routes, layers, remove, and everything we can perform it. So what is the location of the trans directory, USRSCP trans? So all these things. Then maybe one more activity we may get like transport import, importing the transport. That is only last activity. That is the very important. Normally we will do that activity. TR import, transport import. Every day we will get the bulk transports to import it every day. That is one of the our active regular activity as a basis consultant. Our regular activity is the transport import, not the creation. But here we don't have any developer, but we will learn about the creation itself. So transport creation. So because you want to move the data from one system to development to quality, right? Quality to production, you want to move the data, but you want to move the data from here to here and here to here, you want to move the data. But how can we move the data? You define the transport groups, layers, lanes, everything is done. The road transport persons, they have done the all the configurations, everything done. Now you are free to go to from Hyderabad to Vijayawada. So then what you have to move from there? Just you want to visit, small visit. Then if you want to visit, you need some small delivery, you have to give it, right? So then you need to create the package here. You need to create the transport request. So here we need to create the one transport request, one TR we have to create it, that is called the TR. Then in the TR we need to add the objects. We need to add the objects. Why? Because we want to move the data from, data means objects from here to here and here to production system. In that case, where can you add it? Normally, if you want to parcel something, if you want to transfer the some parcel, they will do the some parcel, they will pack it, then they will send to the, so through courier or through lorry or something like that, cargo, they will send it to the, so Vizag, they will parcel it, right? They will stick it, parcel it, everything they will do that one. So arrangements. But here, how we are moving the data? Through via transport. Transport request is the number. In that number, in the transport request, we have to add the our data, which data you want to transfer. The request naming convention is like when you are creating the transport request number, the naming convention is SID, K9, and 5 digits number will be generated. This is a very important transport request number convention. SID means, so the SID in which system you are creating the, so in which system you are creating the transport request, the source system. Suppose in our case NWD, right? So K9 is the one number, transport number, standard naming. Number means sequentially it will generate the number. Suppose you are creating the first request 00001. You are creating the fourth transport 00004th request. It will generate, system will generate this one. So where can I go ahead and create the TR? SE01, SE09, SE10. These are the transaction codes. We can use it for creation of the transport request. Now I will go ahead and create the TR. Suppose what TR you want to create it. Go to the NWD system. So log into the any user. Maybe you have your own users, you can log in. Then here, so just go to the SE01. Here, when you go to the SE01, you have the create option. Just click on the create button. So create the request. While creating the request, you have the option. What is mean by customizing request? What is mean by customize? You have the request, types of requests are there. Types of request. That's why it's very hard to remember all these things, but it's a functional work. But we should require types of request. Are you on the same page till now? Regarding the transport routes, transport layers, and the transport request naming convention, and how to create the transport request. This one. And while creating the transport request, we have the types of requests are there. Are you clear with me as of now? Any questions? Or you want to practice?
Continues.
Okay. Everyone on the same page, right? So we'll continue. Normally you won't create it in the real time, but sometimes people may ask you, so how to create the transport request? So how to create the transport request? Okay, the TR, the transport request is, it's kind of container. So normally when you want to, suppose when you need salt will be located, we will pour the salt into the one container, right? One box, right? In that box, by using that box, you are moving the salt or pepper, whatever it may be, from one location to another location you are moving. So here, that's the container, the salt related container box is called the transport request. Salt is called the, a pepper is called the, a chili is called the, your data, your objects. Now you got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so small example, it's a small example. Like suppose you want to move the data, suppose you want to move the, so suppose you want to move something, what we can take it here. Suppose you are going to the shopping mall, you want to purchase something, so they will pack into the one sheet, they will pack into the one container, maybe one other cover, maybe one container, they will pack it and they will send you. Then the container is called the request. Actual data is your sheet, right? So that like that is like that, you can assume it, maybe it's maybe wrong, but like that you can assume it, like that you can assume it here. Okay, so types of request we have, one is the customization request. So maybe it's load to your mind, but you guys are told that to continue, just I'm continuing the customizing request. Types of request are, so total customizing request. The second one is called the workbench request. Workbench. The third one is called the transport of copies. Transport of copies. So these are the, so we have the other request also, but these are the most useful request. So customization request. So when you go to the SE01, just click on the create the customizing request. Here you need to put the description, what objects you are going to move. Just give the information. Like suppose some table movement to production, something like that. This description you put, the target system automatically will reflect it. Why? Because you have already configured the TMS. So it come, then here the request is generated. You see, request is generated. NWD, your SID is the NWD you are creating, then NWD K9000046. So 46 is the your main request. Then Recording. Yeah. Whenever you are creating the transport request, the number will be generated automatically by system. You don't need to generate manually. Sir, why we have two numbers, 46 and 47? 46 is the main request, 47 is the subtask, sub request. Maybe you can call it as the subtask, and it's a main. It's a main. This is the subtask. Subtask means under the subtask only we will load the data here. So request you created, you can move the empty data, or you can also add the some data itself here. Maybe go ahead and here so you add the some data, like there is a adding the object, there is a naming convention object here. You can, if you don't understand, ignore it. Maybe tabu table I am adding, you can add the object name is table. What is the object you are trying to move? What is the object you are trying to move here? Suppose I want to move TBDLS table. The table I want to move to the from NWD to ECP table I want to move, right? I want to move this table. So I want to move the this table TBDLS as incorrect type of the object, incorrect type of the object. So why I got this error? Why I got this error? Because of this is customizing request. This is customizing request. So which means customizing request means client specific only, is applicable for the only client specific only this client, this is applicable, only this client, this is applicable, client specific only this client. So this is applicable only this client, this is applicable. Okay, so that is the main thing of the customization request. Customization request types we have. When you are creating the request types, customization, workbench, transport of copies, the relocation of the objects. When you are going to create it, so you want to move the data to other systems, then always it should be the workbench request, not the customization. Customization means so it's like client specific only, you are creating in the 100 client, and so NWD only client specific objects. So client specific objects will be moved, only client specific, only this client specific. Suppose create the workbench request which is applicable for the all the clients and all the systems, then same you can create it like table movement, create it. So maybe select it, it's unclassified, so that you won't get here. Go to the here, select the main request, search it, maybe type here R3 TR, R3 transport object, table name is means TAPU, tabu, which means if you go to the here, functional team knows all these things actually, functional and developers knows, so you don't need to worry about this one. See here the functionality. Suppose you want to, you are moving to the some objects, then you have to select this one. You are moving to the some GA definition, you want to move to the packages, some documents you want to move, some screens you want to move, some lock objects you want to move, some functional modules you want to move, you need to select this one. Some tables you want to move, this one. So like that, whatever we want, can use this one. So suppose you want to move the tables, some structures, whatever you are going to use it, you can use it, right? That's why I selected as a tabu. Tabu means table here. Then here you can choose like TBDLS. TBDLS. This is the one of the table which contains the logical systems, all the logical systems. Then I'm recording into the table name here, just to save it, right? Save it here. So the object name I have added to the transport request here. So how to add the request means double click on the transport request, go to the change mode, then you can add the objects here. Can add the objects here. So add the objects here. So you can add the objects into here. Number of objects you can add it to the here. But so number of objects you can add it to the here. Then after that your TR is created. You can see the what are the objects you have created. TBDLS table name you created, which means whatever the data is there in the table. Table means Suppose like TBDLS, this is the logical system related table. If you go to this TBDLS, how many entries are there? So this many entries are there here. Total 10 entries are there. 10 entries are there in the TBDLS. I want to move this 10 entries to the this table entries to the your production system. Then in this case, what I can do? So I created the transport request, right? I created the transport request. I added the table here. Then release now. Only this creation and release. You have to release it the transport request. Without releasing, you cannot import it. So the order of importing the transport request is the first developer or the transport owner has to create, then add the objects, then release the TR, release the transport request. That's it. That is the work of the development and functional people. Then they will request basis team to import it. So here our duty come into the picture, our responsibility come into the picture. Here they will ask this TR to import it. So but we have to, before importing, there is a sequence, release the TR. So we have to release it. We means the developer has to just click on release directly. So that the TR is getting released. See here, released means it's exporting the TR. See here, see it's exporting. So transport import means export import process. How we are done the client export import process. Same way here, when you are releasing the transport, it will export it. It will export it. Same way we can import it. Exporting means here. So here also, when the transport request is created, when the transport request is released, which means it is exported, here two files will be, the TR will split into the two files. TR will be split into two files, co files and data files at operating system level. It will create the co files called the K9, K9 star and R9 star. I know it's a very confusing, you guys. So are you guys are up to the speed? Where you have broken here? The space, creation of the transport.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I told you, right? The creation of the transport request is purely developer and functional folks. Transport owner, they will create it. It's not our duty. Our duty is importing the TR. Okay. If you are getting confused, ignore this word, ignore this sentence. Okay. Just ignore this one. Okay. Now developers, they will create the transport request. They will ask basis team to, hi basis team, could you please import the 48 transport request number into ECP system. Then in this case, so what we have to do now, they will ask us to import it. Then we have to go to the STMS for the configuration, everything. We have to use the one transaction code, STMS. We have to go to, this is our duty. See here, go to the STMS, click on the truck symbol, import overview. Then which system they are asking us to import? ECP. Then select that system, which system they are asking you to import, select that request. Okay, select that request. So before importing the transport request, see in the ECP, in the same, this table entries we are going to get from the, NWD. See here how many entries are there here. Here also we have the 9 entries, which are the naming convention of the ECC, ECP, ECP, ECP. So all these entries will be deleted now. See here, all these entries will be deleted. So now we will get the, entries, production entries. See here. So now this is the request will come into the picture here. Now they will ask basis team to import this transport request into the, this is our work from here. From this come, you have to go to the STMS, select the import overview, then check the email, what is the target system you want to import, select that system. Then what is the request, select that request, click on the offload truck button, don't click the full load truck. If you click the full load truck, all will be imported, it will be dangerous in the system. The transport import process is the dangerous activity. Why? Because if something wrong when you are importing, the entire system will be corrupted. Corrupted means again you need to restore from the backup. You cannot roll back when once the transport import is done. If something wrong you did, again system will be corrupted. You will be fired from the organization. Make sure this one. Okay. So carefully select that system, select the transport request number. Suppose you select this one, you know you want to import this 48, but unfortunately your mouse went into the here, you want to select this one. Unfortunately, instead of clicking the semi-load truck, if you click the full load truck, it will be dangerous again. So carefully when you are importing the transport request, select that request, go to the semi-load truck, import the transport request. Which client you want to import? You have number of clients are there. Which client you want to import? Suppose I want to import to the 101 client, 101. So then select that one. You want to import immediately. Target system, target client came. You want to import immediately, or you want to import sometime like after the 10 minutes, 10 o'clock, then you can select it. Go to the execution. You want to synchronous mode and asynchronous mode, you can select it. But this is the preferable option, which means, so synchronous mode, then they may ask you questions. What is this synchronous and asynchronous? Right? So we have already this topic like in the during the Q's discussion, SMQ or SMQ2. So we have already discussed about the synchronous, asynchronous. Same kind of symptom. Asynchronous means by default asynchronous. When the transport is executed, one so why? Because one job will run, one background job will run. That background job is required the one background work process. Normally we know. So when you are importing the transport request, so RDD IMP DP job will be triggered in the backend that got created during the configuration. Why that job got created means that will be created during the during the transport creation, like during the configuration creation, RDD IMP DP job generated. So when that job will be imported means when the transport request is importing. Now when you are importing, that background job will be started. So the background process released, that each job is required the one background work process, right? So one job, if you want to run the one job, one background work process should be free. So here when you select the asynchronous mode, so the background process is released after the import was started. But if you select the synchronous mode, until you complete of the import, still the process, the background work process is blocked here. So that's why preferable method is the asynchronous mode. Then go to the options. Here you want to import the request again, you can select it. You want to override the originals. You have the same objects is available in the source and target. You want to override that one. Maybe if you want to override, you can select override. You don't want to override anything. You want to ignore the invalid components, you can ignore it. So like that we can choose it, select it, then click on the import button. Then so maybe it is asking the 101, right? So maybe we can provide the not any user password, we can provide it here. Yes. See here TP connecting to the system and everything. Now we can see the truck started. The import is started now. Now truck started from NWD to ECP. The truck is started through RFC destination, through TMS RFC destinations. The truck is started importing the data from NWD to ECP. Sir, how can I verify data is there not? Once the TR imported, see here we got the return code 0, which means RC means return code 0, successfully imported. Now go to the ECP system. So verify the data. So now you have the ECP system, right? So now you can verify the data now. You can go to the we moved this table, right? We moved the TBEDLS table, then go to this table, just click on the entries. So you will see what are the entries are there here. See here, in the ECP previously we have the 9 entries, 9 entries, which are related to the ECC, ECP, 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 ECP entries. Previous screen we have seen. So end up VCP. Now after moving the transport, same data, whatever the data is there in the your NWD system, maybe if you go to the table SC16, see the data here, whatever the data is there here, whatever the data is there here, 028, 029, everything. So everything, all the data moved to the ECP system, 028, 029, 100. So how this data received means, you move the transport request, to so development to production system. And your changes are moved to the here. Your changes are moved to the from that system to your ECP system. Your changes are moved via transport request. Via transport request, we have moved the changes. So this is our duty to importing the transport request into your other systems. Okay, got it? Only this is our duty, importing the transport request. Select this one, just click the full load. Also we can click sometimes, but that is most dangerous option. We can disable that option. I will show you how to disable that option, the truck symbol. But first now, the initial, you are in the initial now, so I don't want to confuse you. What you can do today, okay, just check the transport routes and the transport layers, how many routes, how many layers and everything. Then after that, so you can, maybe if you know someone knows how to create the transport request, you can create it. Otherwise I will create the transport request, so that so you can start importing into the so your production system. So I'm creating the multiple transport request. Okay, multiple transport request I will create it. You can import it. So you can go to the STMS. How to import means, go to the STMS, which system they want to import. So suppose ECP, select the ECP system, which transport request 48, select the 48, select the truck symbol. Now which client you want to import, maybe any client you can select it. So you want to import immediately, or I want to import at 10 o'clock. Then select 10 o'clock. You are scheduling, I don't want to import now, 10 o'clock I want to schedule. Then so just select that one. Component version is mismatched. Okay, I want to select a different options, I have to select it. So then you can import it. So then you can view the timelines, then you can import it. This way you can import the transport request. These are the options. You want to import the request again, select. You want to override the objects, select. You want to override the unconfirmed repairs, select. You don't want, don't select. But first three, last option are the mandatory for every organization. Few people they will select the organization, last option. First three they will choose it, they will import the request. Simple. Then provide the password.
We can use STMS underscore import, right? So directly.
Yeah, direct also you can use it. So suppose in that case, but one system, if you are in the same system, the target system also same, you want to import, you can use the STMS. But you are in the NWD, you want to import the request to the ECP, then if you use the STMS underscore import, that will come to the NWD only. Now you want to import to the VIR, then you can go to the VIR, just select this one. So just click on the import option, import, then that will be imported. You want to import the ECP, then select that system. In the buffer, you will see the all the requests. This is the buffer. We will call it as the buffer. This is the transport buffer. Normally, all these requests are available in the buffer. In the OS level, this is the buffer. And this is the buffer. To open in the text file, you will get the all the requests 02. So then 48, now which recent request, 48. So 41, recent request, all requests are there in the buffers. All requests are in the buffers, you can see. So like that, we can import it. We can import this transport request. Okay, so don't go deeply for now. Tomorrow I will explain the return codes, issues, transport issues, how the job will be triggered. Because I know you guys are confusing. To avoid this confusion, just to learn about what is TR, what is the naming convention of the TR, in which transaction code we can create the transport request, how to create the transport request, how many types. Just learn about theoretically how many types of transport request. Customization request, this is the client specific. Workbench request, this is for the cross client, any client. This is the client dependent, this is the client independent. Any client, any system, you can move it. Transport of copies, transport of copies is for the during the refresh time. During the refresh, system refresh, we have to choose this option, TOC option. That time we will get more on this transport. But for now, most of the option, the developers, they will use the workbench request. Workbench means cross client. If they are developing the objects, means they have to move to the entire landscape and other systems also, right? That's why they will use this workbench request. So they are developing the object, they don't want to move to the other systems and other client specific. That time they can use the customization request, right? Types of request you can learn. Then how to import the transport request. To import the transport request, what you have to do, you have to log into the target system. Maybe I will put the steps here. It's very important actually. I'm putting the steps here. Importing the PR into target system. How to import this one? Okay. So first step number 1, log into the target system. So then login means with user ID password you can log in. Then target client. Then use the STMS or STMS underscore import direct buffer you can go. Then select the transport request. Select the TR, which TR you want to import it. Then so click on the import button. Import button means truck symbol. Truck symbol. Okay, import the button. Then after refresh it, check the status of the TR. Import status of the TR, status of TR import. So status means we have types of status here. 0, 4, 8, 12. 0 means successfully imported. Successfully imported. 4 means successfully imported with warnings, right? 8 means, I want to tell this topic tomorrow, but just giving the information. Successful is like 1 or more objects having issues. 12 means system issue. System issue. Then we need to check further. What we have to check means I will explain. So types of status. So if you go to the STMS, so select the system. If you can see types of requests are there, status. So RC, if you just this is written code. So status. So just mouse over, you will see the OK, which means RC 0. Sometimes you will see the red symbol, which means like some failed request is failed, something like that. You will see the why request is failing means RC 8 you will get. 4, 0 or 4 you can ignore, successfully completed. But the 8 or 12, the 8 comes, then we need to check with we need to inform transport owner who asked for you to import. We need to check with functional or development teams here. right? Responsibility for each written code. So system issue, the basis team has to take care. Basis team has to check further. How to check, sir? Transport is failed with RC12. What are the issues, common issues we may face means I will explain. But for now, we have the types of request 0, 4, 8, 12. They may ask you questions like, what are the transport RC written code? Vendor, sir, how can we know transport is successfully imported? And under you will get the symbols like 0, 4, 8, 12. So these are the transport written codes. So how to import means these are the steps you need to follow, right? So these steps you can remember. I will create the 10 or 12 request here. Each person try to import those transport requests. You will get the experience how to import the transport request. Suppose like, so example one transport request I am creating here, right? Then I will release it. Simple creation and release it. It will go and add it to the so your import request. Then go to the again SE01. Just click on. There is no data. Just to create and release it. Data is not required for us now. Why? Because we are not the developers. We don't know how much data we have to move it. Then select it. Then release the transport. Here it is getting released. Then go to STMS ECP, right? Next system is the ECP. Go to the here, just refresh the buffer. You will see the whatever the request you created and released, those requests are available in the here in the import buffer. It is checking. Those requests are available in the ECP system. See here, example one I created, example two I created, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10 requests I created. You guys have to import this one. Let me know the status code here. Okay, or one transport request you can input multiple times also, not a problem. But so I will create the multiple requests here, or if you are okay with this creation and releasing, you can also do, not a problem. It's very simple task. Okay, so any questions from anyone?